What's good, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Zameer from EcstasyTunes. In this video, I'm gonna talk about my favorite features of Cubase 14. Alright, so as you guys know that I made a video before about requesting some features, and some of the features that I requested is available in Cubase 14. Unfortunately, not all of the features I requested is in Cubase 14. However, I'm not disappointed. I'm very happy with the update of Cubase 14. Alright, so if you guys want to know what are the features that I requested in that video, I will leave a link in the description so you guys can check them out. Alright, okay, these features that I'm going to list out right now it's not in any particular order, right? So I love them all equally because I find that it helps with my music production, and I just completed one project with Cubase 14. And the reason why I could do this is because it's very intuitive and it allows me to be creative because of those features. All right, so the first one that I'm going to talk about, the features that I like in Cubase 14, is the drum machine and the pattern editor. All right, if you guys seen my previous video, in the video that I talk about Cubase 14 requests, the first one was the drum pattern or editor. So in the video I talk about the drum editor here. So actually I want a more modern pattern editor. However, they did it even better. The Cubase 14 drum machine and the drum pattern editor is even better, actually, to be honest. So I like that a lot because now I don't have to load any other pattern designer for me to program a beat, right? I used to use a lot of other third-party plugins. Let me just show you. So I have this isotope break tweaker, I have this play beat. All of these, I bought it because I want the drum editor here. I really like this drum editor. Pattern editor here is very useful when I'm producing a beat. So I have all these third-party plugins which I use. So with Cubase 14, we have a better drum editor, drum pattern editor. So I'm really happy with this feature, and yeah, I'm gonna start with that. Okay, the second feature that I like is obviously the modulators. Man, this is fantastic. As a film composer and also producer, I always like to manipulate my audio. I'm sure you guys have seen my videos before where I do a lot of sound design thingy. And with this modulator, I can do even more. There's more things that I can play around with sounds. I'll be making more video with Halion 7 and how I use Halion 7 with this modulator, because it's giving me a lot of options for me to play with and create really unique sounds. So the second one is the modulator, and the reason why I like this is it's very CPU friendly. I have other plugins that I use to modulate my audios, MIDI and all that, but it is not, I wouldn't say it's CPU heavy, but with this one built in with Cubase, I don't have to worry about it's going to be crashing my Cubase. Right, so that's one thing. And I've been using this almost in every project right now. Right, so if you guys are not into modulator, I think you guys should check this out, because you are going to have a lot of fun, because you can actually basically create your own sound with only one note, for instance. Right, okay, let me just show you real quick. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add some instrument here, so maybe a long note. Okay, that's damn loud, but I'm going to use this one. Let's add as a sampler track. Okay, so now you can also use sampler track or any tracks for that matter to create modulations with this modulator, right? So you must be wondering, okay, how can I use the modulator here? Just go to an external window here, right? And then at the bottom here, now you can choose the modulator. So now let's modulate something, maybe a filter. All right, so cutoff, that's the standard one. Let's do it. So I'm going to be using LFO. Okay, I'm going to click on this plus button and I'm going to go and click on this cutoff. All right, so now this cutoff is being modulated by this LFO, and it's actually synced, I believe. Yeah, it's synced to let me just bring it up to 16 note. All right, so I'm gonna press a note now. Okay, and it was not like this before, so let me just bypass this one. Okay, so earlier This is the original sound, and now with this enable, it has a unique sound. Okay, so now let me just adjust the cutoff here. So now I created a sound with another sound. Okay, now if let's say I'm using some samples I download from Splice or somewhere, I can manipulate it until people won't be able to recognize that sound, right? So that I'm making that sound as my own. It is important to do that because we don't want to get any copyright strike, right? So with this tool that we have in Cubase 14, it's possible. Even with the older version of Cubase, it's still possible, but this one will make it even easier, and you're gonna have a lot of fun playing with it, right? And not only that, you can actually modulate everything basically that you can see here. So let's modulate the drive. Yeah, why not? So I'm gonna click on this button right now, and I'm gonna click on drive. Now the drive is also modulated. Let's hear it. See what I can do now with this modulator. There's a lot of things that I can do with this modulator. I will show you guys in the next video. Alright, so this video is gonna be short and sweet. So that's the second one, which I like, in no particular order. Okay, the next one I like is the volume fader, or volume tool. Let's find it. Okay, this volume tool. Okay, why I like this? For two reasons. One is I can do a lot of modulation with this fader instead of this fader, which I don't want to adjust at all. So if, let's say, I want to automate the volume or do any adjustment with the volume, I can do with this tool instead of this one. Okay, that's one reason. Another reason is that I am able to adjust the left and right independently. So sometimes I'll have a sample where it's very heavy on the right or left. And for that kind of case, usually I will have to use the panner, right? I use the stereo combined panner and then adjust it accordingly, like so. But now with this volume tool, I can do it with this fader instead. So this is left, this is right. So let me just show you an example. Okay, so I'm gonna go and hit a note. Okay, this instrument is kind of balanced, right? So if, let's say, I'm using this one, okay, now you see that it's panned left. Let's say this sample was like this before. Okay, so now I can go to the volume tool, can adjust it. Okay, now it's more balanced, right? So if you have a sample like that, you can play with this volume tool. The other one is that I like the plugin Shimmer. This Shimmer is one of a kind of plugin. Okay, all right, so earlier we had a different sound. Now it's gonna sound completely different. Look at that. And it's the default one. I'm gonna and if you modulate this one, it's even better. So I'm gonna, let's modulate the pitch. Okay, so now I have 3 LFO, kinda. Okay, let's bypass all of it. The original sound sounds like this. Let me just adjust the cutoff. Okay, this was the original sound. And after I added all these modulator, it sounds like this now. Oh, let me just enable shimmer. Okay, this is really cool. I really like that. Okay, so the next one is, let me just add an audio track. So the next one that I like in Cubase 14 is the fact that I can adjust the volume here without having to cut the event. Previously I used to have to cut the event and then use this volume envelope to bring it down. Now I don't have to do that at all. All I have to do is just set the range and I can bring them down, and I also have the way to adjust it even more. Let me just zoom in a little bit, and then I have this awesome curve that I can create with this, right? It was not possible in the previous older version of Cubase 13. So I really like this feature a lot. I'll be using it a lot, and I did use it in one of my projects earlier, and it just makes things faster, right? I really like this. This is one of my favorite feature of Cubase 14, and I'm looking forward to using this more often than ever. Okay, that was my fourth features that I like in Cubase 14. Okay, and the other one that I like the most is the score editor. Okay, now that we have the score editor, I do a lot of orchestration, and for me to have a really good score editor is important. Let me show you guys what I like about the score editor. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add an instrument here. Let's use a kontakt. Let's record it. Okay, so this is my piano part. Alright, it sounds like this. Okay, not the best performance, but let's see how score editor is showing it right now. Oops. I'm going to click on this editor, go to score editor. Right now it shows me the piano with the bass clef and the treble clef. Okay, and it looks really good. Let's hit play now. Fantastic. This is very important for me because sometimes I do sketches with piano. I play the melody with piano, and then I do orchestration, and I like to see the notation sometimes because it's easier to work with notation than the key editor. And I also have Dorico, and I really like working with Dorico as well. You know, it's a different feeling to work with the notation compared to the key editor. So I think that's my fifth features that I like in Cubase. Okay, another thing that I like about Cubase 14 is that now it allows video 4K and 8K, right? I always get files in a bigger size, like in a bigger quality. I have to ask them to, reduce it and render it in a lower resolution. But now I don't have to do that because now Cubase supports 4K and 8K. So that's fantastic, right? And all the other smaller improvement is definitely welcome. So again, I'm excited to work with Cubase 14. I hope you guys do too. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video.